Fresh and fit melt like an ice cream bar shoved up Satan's asshole on a hot Miami afternoon. And all because of a girl known for baby trapping a basketball player and this.
In my experience, the worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, I mean, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb. I don't like talking about my history with men I'm dating, I guess until now, because most of the guys that I've dealt with are going to have more money than you. And you're going to feel a way about it. I know the male ego is fragile, like the ball sack that hangs in between your legs. In conclusion.
Be a alpha male, not a beta male.
Fresh and Fit are known for having a podcast where they help men and advertise their self-help workshops, but everyone only shows up to see them dunk on entitled Instagram models.
You see that you don't want people to look down upon you for being single. I'm not shaming you for being single. So therefore, let me finish, you're single. So moving forward in this conversation, use English to express reality. And the reality of the matter is, yes, you are single.
If Goodbye. I'm not allowed to
Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
You gotta respect the platform and not cut people off.
Thank you.
I'm myself.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right, go ahead.
You can take yourself outside.
You can't be a traditional man in a world where women are no longer traditionally women. You gotta play by it. Because you guys came on the platform.
It is.
You diluted.
It is.
Are you gonna keep doing that?
It is.
You're gonna keep being disrespectful. Period.
It is.
All right, get the fuck out.
A bad bitch.
No.
So you above basic. You don't work. You don't have no attributes.
I inspire my men.
How? You don't got no job. What's your education?
Listen,
I could tell you ain't got no brain.
Honey, I worked in corporate finance.
What are you talking? So why are you not employed now?
Because I don't want to be.
So you want to be a slave to a man with some money?
Brittany Renner's claim to fame is being an Instagram model and having a baby with PJ Washington. She seems like a slam dunk for Fresh and Fit, so what the hell went wrong?
Beta!
This whole podcast was riddled with incoherent babbling and the mic audio was literal AIDS, so I'm going to try my best to decipher this disaster. Let's go through the play-by-play. We start off with DJ Academics hyping up this dunk fest by setting the tone of some kind of confrontation.
So we walk in, you first see Brittany Renner, and we're thinking you're probably gonna be like, okay, shit, we're gonna have this great debate. But you said initially, you're like, yeah, I don't think there's much to really debate. Why?
In a very weird opening salvo, Fit goes off on his prepared talking points about how women want to get things out of men while men want to get things into women, emphasizing that Instagram models are particularly good at this.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We've always said it, men and women, we're very different. We have opposing goals. Like, girls are trying to, get resources, time, attention out of guys. Guys are trying to get sex. And girls, a lot of the time, are trying to get what they need to get out of dudes without necessarily giving it up. And some girls are good at it, some girls aren't. And then there's other girls that are kind of models for that are good at finessing dudes.
Boy, what are you saying?
Renner starts quietly laughing as Fit emphasizes that he isn't referring to her, making that whole monologue a build-up to nothing and ultimately pointless.
And not to say that you're a finesser, I ain't saying that, but girls are able to, run laps around a lot of guys, and that's why our podcast exists, to help dudes out to understand how women operate and how they move.
Academics, who is now worried that he won't get his fiery altercation, starts rapidly stirring his carefully crafted pot of dookie by demanding that Fit apply his view on Instagram models to Renner so that they can start arguing.
Now, you have a different point of view.
Wait. Where do you think she fits in that? Because, I think her point of view would be diametrically opposed to you guys by saying, well, I'm not the exact typical person who you may think dudes are running into or you're trying to tell people to stay away from.
Fit attempts a last-ditch effort for an amicable conversation by ignoring Academics and changing the subject to Renner introducing herself. Renner disappoints no one by immediately bringing the heat and telling them to introduce her since they know her so well that they feel comfortable enough to tell guys to stay away from her.
I mean, well, sure, she could tell. She was saying that we're wrong, I guess, about that.
Well,
so you tell us a little bit about yourself. Then.
No, I think you know more about me than I do myself. So you're saying... No, obviously you do, though, because you said that you warn guys about girls like me. So tell me about girls like me.
It's a trap.
Just women in general.
Don't women in general, because you literally specifically said before we got on here
this was an off-camera conversation.
that you did say that
That's true.
You warn guys about girls like me. So now that we're face to face, what kind of girl am I?
Fit finally starts getting antagonistic, except Renner did her homework and came prepared. She forces Fit to concede that he is not special either, making his statement sound pointless, and then again asks him to describe her since he claimed to know her so well.
You're not special. You're like other girls. That's the key.
I'm not special.
Like, you're like other women that are
So
like,
what makes you special then?
I never said I was. But you're trying to say, well, what makes me different from, like, a lot of women operate the way you do.
And how do I operate?
Fit ends up responding to Renner's directness by falling back on his talking points and vaguely referencing how women and men want things and Instagram models are good at getting it. This is weak as hell. Fit should have told her she's a greedy, selfish girl to her face or retract his offhand comment about warning guys about her. This half-step subtweet BS looks spineless and cowardly when Renner is sitting right in front of him. Just state your problem with her.
In general, what I just said before, women, it's a dance between the two genders. Men are trying to get sex. Women are trying to get resources, time, attention, whatever it is that they're looking for. And a lot of girls play the game better than guys. We talk about this openly on our podcast. And we're teaching guys how to not necessarily get finesse and get what they want out of girls, which a lot of the times is intimacy, but they're not able to get it. But girls are easily able to obtain money, time, resource, attention, whatever it is. Girls are running laps around dudes, which is why podcasts like ours exist.
Academics tries to get a more direct attack on Fit by asking if his comments on women apply to Renner.
Do you believe that Brittany has been effective in extracting, as you say, time, resources, and other things out of dudes?
Fit finally utters a feeble yes to academics before fumbling his words, refusing to answer Reynolds' initial question and passing the mic to Renner. Renner, now in full attack mode, ignores Fit's mess of an attempted question and loads up her second salvo.
Yeah, to a degree, sure. Yeah. I mean, like, a lot of girls want to do. I mean, well, here's the thing. You've been so adamant about me being incorrect, and I don't know, and you don't know me, and all this other stuff. Tell me then. Maybe we're off. Who knows?
Well, I think, first of all, let's bring it back a couple notches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So there's really a lot to unpack here, because my first question to you is, what do you gain from telling girls that they're not special? How does that make you feel?
Utter silence from Fresh and Fit. But somehow it still said way more than anything else they've said so far. Renner now brilliantly insults Fresh and Fit and calls their podcast mediocre while simultaneously explaining why it's wrong to insult others, making it impossible to retaliate without looking very childish and petty. DJ Academics, now very happy with the flavor of his stirred dookie pot, begins to focus on the sound quality, which is god-awful.
I mean, I know everything is a joke, but I'm asking you a real question. So how does it make you feel? Because if I say you're a bitch-ass nigga, that does something for me, right? If I insult you, or if I tell you you're not special, you're forgettable, what does that do for me? No, but that doesn't. But that's what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying, what if I call you? If I just say that again, you're forgettable. That's why I didn't want to do you guys' podcast. Forgettable. Hate the setup. The name is underwhelming. I didn't really see the value in it. Right?
Okay,
that's how I feel. Right. But so that's fine. But for me, that's okay if it wasn't a fit for me. But I also don't need to, in a way kind of try to devalue what you guys have going on. Because at the end of the day, I may not agree with anything you guys talk about. Because honestly, I feel like when you've seen 2 or 3 videos, you've seen them all. But the reality is that I went to your guys' page and I went to the different links and the different services and the courses that you guys offer. And I do see that there's a place for that. So even though it may not have been in alignment with what I am about, I can still give credit where it's due without trying to devalue you guys, because you guys are doing something special, right? Because you guys are, I mean, are there a lot of other people doing what you do? You could consider your guys' podcast special, right?
Instagram models everywhere swoon at the discovery that one of their own has a high enough IQ to not qualify for government assistance.
और अहम खबर दें आपको, पाकिस्तान से दुबई जाने वालों के लिए ये खुशखबरी है कि दुबई जाने वाले मुसाफिरों के लिए एयरपोर्ट्स पर रैपिड टेस्ट की शर्त अब ख़त्म कर दी गई है और मुसाफिरों को दुबई सफ़र करने से 48 घंटे कबल PCR टेस्ट कराना होगा और बाकायदा तौर पर इसका नोटिफिकेशन भी जारी।
I have no clue what Academics was going for here, but Fit quickly brings the conversation back on topic by pretending Renner didn't verbally murder him and asking her to tell them about herself. Forcing a verbal opponent to answer your question is normally a very good strategy, but since Fit has refused to answer any questions himself, he doesn't have a leg to stand on, much less beat Renner with. Fit ends by accusing Renner of attacking Fresh and Fit, which turns out to be a huge mistake.
I think what she's mentioned is like the self-help portion for dudes, where you guys offer services to help guys either attract or try to talk to women and really engage with them at a higher rate that you could potentially date them, right?
Yeah.
I guess the point that I think she's disagreeing with, right?
I'm simply asking her to tell us about herself because we were so incorrect. So tell us about yourself. That's all I'm saying. And then she just went into attacking us.
Renner takes the opportunity to not answer the first question and address them feeling attacked before proceeding to attack them. She explains that they are lucky that she's willing to talk to them because of their vile comments that they've made in the past. She then makes her point that their claim that she's not special is bullshit because everyone is special to someone. So what the hell happened to these guys for them to believe that women in particular are not special?
No one's attacking you because, like I said, listen, there's a lot of people that will not sit down and have a conversation with you just because of the comments that you guys made. Well, you made. And, you chimed in, so you guys are Tweedledee and Tweedledum kind of, right? So I'm here to have a conversation with you guys because for me, I feel like what a lot of male-dominated podcasts are missing is the bridge of understanding. So I came here not to argue you guys or to call you out of your name or to disrespect what anybody's doing because I felt like the interview I had with him, there were things that he said I didn't agree with, but I wanted to sit down and hear his point of view. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So for you to say you're not special, well, I'm special to someone, just like you're special to someone, just like he's special to someone. So for you trying to generalize all groups of women, then we would have to take it back to where this even began. Like why you even have this view of women. And like I said.
Renner then gets too high sniffing her own farts because she went on a weird tangent about how Fit is smart and his Instagram guests are stupid. Which sounds very pick-me, by the way, so he should be honest and show people who he is. This was so bizarre. And I know the editor agrees with me because he had to screen wipe away just to avoid confusing their audience.
You have a bunch of dumbass bitches on your guys' podcast, and I get it, they don't challenge you, and I know you're a really smart guy, but it's like, I feel like you need to kind of just be honest and show people who you really are.
Quick, change the channel.
I know that for people to be dragging you guys and say...
Renner then spends the next couple minutes rambling incoherently about...
Take this little clip and say that's who you are, that's not true. So that's why I sat down and had this conversation. I'm not here to degrade you. So when you make comments, I'm saying when you make comments like, oh yeah, no women are special. So no woman is special, but yet you guys have a whole podcast dedicated how to get women just for sex. That's all you guys are. So you're saying men are just limited to just sex. That's all they care about is sex. Yes or no? That's all you guys care about. There's no emotional need. It's just my dick, cum, sex. I want a hole.
Wow, you are triggered, man. Wow.
I think also
she wanted a whole right there.
Honestly, it's just I speak with conviction. Yeah, I mean, for you to say girls like me, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm assuming if I go off of what people have said about me, I'm a gold digger who finessed my boyfriend who I lived with and wanted to marry me and still would want to have more kids with me if I wanted to stay with him. I finessed him. And I guess I'm a gold digger. And so all girls like that.
Let's bring this back full circle.
And Fit ends the clip by restating his views about the relationship between men and women. It's very boring, and it made no sense.
You're speaking with a lot of emotion right now, and to be honest, you're not really making a point. I said at the top, men and women, it's a delicate dance between the two genders to get what they want. Correct? I said men want sex, women want resources, attention, money, time, whatever it is from a man. It changes per girl. Some girls want money, some girls want attention, some girls want time, or some girls want a hot guy, whatever it is. But there's a multivariate requirement from women of what they want. Men typically it's just sex. So in that regards of intersexual dynamics between men and women, I'm saying you're not special because you're like every other girl. You want to get resource, time, attention, or whatever it may be, commitment from a man, and a man wants to get sex from you. So when it comes to that, we're talking about biology of what men want from women. You are not special. You are just like every other girl, just like I'm every other guy. The difference is this. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm special. I'm Marvin Gaines. I can do this and that. We said all the time, city boys up, blah. Like, we don't sit here and try to make ourselves look special. We're regular guys. We want sex. It is what it is. But women run around and say, I'm special. I'm different. It's like, nah, bro. Y'all don't live in reality a lot of times. You guys say, I deserve that. I deserve this. I'm special. Someone looks at me as special. Like, bro, at the end of the day, you're a woman. I'm a guy. You are playing the game to get what you want out of the relationship. I'm playing the game to get what I want out of the relationship, or temporary relationship, whatever it is. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm special. That's what I'm talking about. You could say you're special in other regards, but I'm talking about between men and women. That is the game. That's how it is.
No, hold on.
Luckily, I have a second clip where we can get into the meat and potatoes of Renner's backstory and Fit's view on the relationship between men and women. It sounds like it's going to be a rehash of the last clip, but trust me. Renner starts off by explaining that 1, PJ Washington painted her as the bad guy. 2, PJ lied about everything. 3, he has cheated on her, and by implication, likely many times. Then she explains that she never wanted to be a single mother. What she wanted from PJ was the commitment and affection of a real relationship, not just money. Her story completely exonerates her character.
Was it joint thing? Was it the internet?
I feel like this is like the one question, like even when I came on with academics, I was just like dancing around it because when we initially broke up, I'm like, you never go against the mob. Like you don't air out our family business. And then obviously all that stuff happened. And then it's like, I have to play, like lean into the villain role because you didn't put me in it a little bit, you know? So, well, he's a liar. He's a cheater. I know a lot of people that I've talked to, even like people that I would consider that I'm close with.
He's an NBA player though, man.
But I was just about to, I was even, this man was actually hanging stuff up in my house. Like I had a bunch of pictures that needed to go up. And when we were talking, he was like, but didn't you know what you were signing up for? And I'm like, you know, I hear what you're saying, but nobody, especially me, I waited till I was 29 to have a baby. So I thought I was like waiting, gonna do this right. Like there's no way I'm gonna be a baby mama. Like there's no way. You don't sign up to be single. You don't sign up to lay down for 9 months to not have the family structure, you know? So for me, the lying and the cheating, I could not tolerate that. To have the Bentley, to live in the $1.6 million house, to have my $15,000 allowance. Because that's what he was saying. He's like, Brittany, what more do you want from me? You have everything here. What do you want? I want to
finish. Yeah, go ahead.
And I said, I want commitment. I want you, like, and I want you to be faithful to me. That's all I want.
Academic starts translating her fairly articulate statements as Fit bursts out laughing and Fresh starts speaking for the first time and captures the attention of the room. He chooses to say, see, I respect that. Now Myron, please. And then ushers everyone's attention to Fit. In a podcast filled with incoherent ramblings and repeating the same one talking point about the relationship between men and women over and over, this has to be one of the most meaningless series of words I have ever heard. It was such a weird thing to do. It's so obvious that he was just there to collect a paycheck, and I envy how cushy his gig is.
No, but I want you to be faithful to me.
See, I can respect that. Now, Myron, please.
In a bold departure from the norm, Fit decides to say that it's normal for women to be cheated on by successful men because they're not special. He continues to say that Renner already has PJ's kid, lives in his house, and has his money. Letting him sleep with other women is only natural. Fit then compares sex with women to peeing and reiterates that successful men will cheat. Academics, now enraptured by Fit's view on fidelity, starts probing. But Fresh brings the attention back to what Fit said to Renner and asks how it makes her feel.
Yo, when you deal with a certain caliber guy, you're not going to get him to yourself. Like, I need to drill this in women's head. Like, yo, the more money and status a man has, the less likely he's going to be faithful to you. It's a trade-off. When you get a top-tier guy, guess what? Every other woman is going to want him, and you have to accept the uncomfortable reality that you're going to have to share him sexually. But if you got the ring, you got the kid, you got the house, you got the money, etc., women need to put their ego aside and understand that men are going to exercise options, especially when they get to a certain point. But if you have the main title, it is what it is. And this is where I got to be a little tough here. A lot of women think they're sugar and spice and everything nice, and I'm fucking special. Y'all are really not that special, man. A lot of girls are the same box, same vagina, whatever it is. Guys like new pussy. It is what it is. So if you have a man emotionally, you have his kid, you have his house, whatever, you got to get past your ego of thinking, he's fucking other bitches, this is fucked up. Because men can have sex
Do you think that's a new way
detached of emotion. Yeah, because girls, like, women make the cardinal mistake and think men and women are the same. We are not. Men look at sex like taking a piss. You guys look at it as a huge emotional investment. So for women, they can't fathom, how can you fuck another girl and come home to me? I just took a piss and I'm coming now to my main girl. That's not a big deal. But girls need to understand, it comes with the territory. A man of success is not going to be faithful to you sexually. It is what it is.
Wait. So should, and I'm asking you for advice
Sure.
for women.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of women who are going to watch this
And get triggered.
And they're going to be like,
misogyny.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We want a monogamous dude.
It's the truth.
So okay, I hear what you're saying. But if they want a monogamous dude, should women date down?
Lower their standards. Look, Brittany.
Because you're essentially saying, yo, you can't date an NBA player
Hold on.
and then, like, get up.
But How do you feel about what he just said?
Renner clarifies that there was no conversation about PJ sleeping with other women, something that Renner explicitly says that she's open to. She further details that he gave her the impression that he wanted a normal monogamous relationship, leaving her feeling deceived when he started cheating, lying about it, and distancing himself from her emotionally. She then reiterates that she explicitly did not get into a relationship for money.
But I think for me, it's like, okay, well, you know what? I can respect that. I may not agree with it, but that just doesn't work for me. And I think, of course, you could look from that standpoint like, hey, you know, move your ego. I think when it's more, I think if there was more transparency, like, hey, you know, like, you know, you're going to have this, this, and this, but it's going to be more of an open relationship. Or, you know, I want you at home. You can't really do anything. But let me finish. Or if it's like, oh, I want to be able to have threesomes. Oh, I want to fuck you with another man. I just feel like there was a conversation that could have been had to where let me make the choice myself. But you took that choice away from me when you decided to be deceitful. And it's like, of course, you could assume because he's an NBA player, because he's young. But at the same time, like if I'm not doing it, and in my mind, like you said, we're wired so differently. Yeah. No, I'm not discrediting that, but I'm a very devoted person. So I'm assuming that, you know, I'm not wasting my time. I'm in this for the long haul. I want to get married. We want more kids. Like that was something we wanted to go back to back on, you know? So it's like, I'm thinking we're on the same page and I'm like, well, where do other women come into the equation of this relationship? So I think if there was more, hey, you know what? I am tired of your pussy, bitch. I'm tired of hitting from the same. I'm ready for something different. Like I want to see you eat a pussy. I want to see you take a dick. I feel like at that point in time, it could have been like we can work something out. But when you try to be sneaky and you lie and you doing whatever and you're not even really taking care of what you need to take care of because you're just here's the money, here's the rent, here's the car, here's the car. I'm emotionally checked out because you have to understand too. We as women we can feel when you're not really in it. So I just personally am like, that just doesn't work for me. Right. And that's okay. Like there will be a woman that would be like, bitch, you're so dumb. I literally would have sat there and just waited till I got the ring, had more kids with him, and just been in the house with my credit card, swipe, doing whatever. That's just not me because I've always gotten it on my own. When you, like, I didn't have a sugar daddy. I didn't have a rich family. There was no help here. So I think for me, when you get it out the mud and you're step by step building shit by yourself, you do look at, for me personally, I can't speak for all of us. I do look at men differently because it's like, I can do everything. I've bought the shoes. I've bought the bags. I thought I got this car was going to make me happy, but it's the connection I want. I can't buy the connection.
Fit then says that he recommends she becomes a gold digger and self-reports that he would be a total gold digger given the chance. He then claims that cheating is quote-unquote nothing, something so stupid the academics burst out laughing.
Society teaches women that they're special and they deserve the best guy and that guy's going to be committed to them, which is a huge lie we tell women. The more successful the man, the less likely he's going to be monogamous to you sexually. He's going to fuck other bitches, but he's going to come to you. And I tell girls all the time, yo, if you got a 1% guy, hold on to him. If he fucks these other bitches, that's fine. He's going to come home to you. That's all that matters. But, so, I'll just say this one last thing. I would try to work it out with him, man. If I was the girl, I would try to work out. And that's the father of your child. Like, cheating, that's nothing. Any guy that you deal with, especially at your level now. No, real talk. It sounds crazy. But, yo, Brittany, I'm telling you, you're at a point now. Real talk. Yo, it's not that big a deal, bro. It ain't. Like, yo, I come from a culture where we have 4 wives. Like, yo.
He then finishes his point by saying that any successful man she dates will cheat on her, so she might as well date the guy who put a baby in her.
Brittany, I'm telling you, you're at a socioeconomic level now, and you're at a certain status.
Up for leaving this nigga.
Like you're at a certain status and a socioeconomic level where the average guy is you cannot deal with a regular guy no more. You have to deal with an entertainer, somebody that has money, an investor, something, whatever it is. Like you're gonna have to deal with a guy that makes a certain amount of money, and these guys are going to go out and step out and fuck other chicks anyway. So you might as well accept it from the father of your child than some other random dude that is probably going to have a point of contention with your past anyway.
Academics notes that Renner has never dated a normal guy. Renner then ignorantly blurts out that she's dated a lawyer. Academics points out how abnormal that is and asks her what she considers a satisfactory amount of money for a man to date her. Renner responds with over $100,000, which is already out of touch with reality, but Fit chimes in by saying that the guy has to be a millionaire, which is delusional.
With the devil you know than the one you don't.
Exactly.
What do you think about that though? Because by the way, we haven't ever seen you pop out. You know, obviously we haven't seen you pop out with no one since him, but We haven't seen you pop out with a regular Joe Schmo, works at Walmart. He's clocking in overtime like a motherfucker.
I mean, I dated a lawyer. Does that count?
Come on, man. He's probably nearly clocking in 6 figures. What do you even consider like a good amount of money?
Like,
You got to be a millionaire bare minimum, probably.
$1 million.
Like you mean like the average person? Like what would we
No. For
what?
you.
Long term.
Yeah, like if you're with a guy and you're gonna tell your family like, yo, he makes good money. What's good money for you?
I mean, I feel like anything over 100,000 would be considered good money, wouldn't it?
So
I think that's yeah. I mean, I don't think it needs to be like 100 million. I think that's kind of excessive.
Fit then restates that cheating is no big deal for men, but when women do it, it's a huge problem. He then starts screeching about how Renner should take back PJ Washington because he only cheated.
All I want to say is this. Cheating is not that big. Like, as women say, oh my God, he would have fucked another bitch. It's cheating for a man is not the same as cheating for a woman. If you guys cheat, it's a problem. It's a huge problem because a woman has to get to a certain emotional point to cheat on a man. But a man does not have to get to that same emotional point to have sex with another chick because you can still love your girl the same and go have sex with other women. It does not work the other way around, though. That's why cheating from women is unforgivable. But from a guy, it ain't that big a deal, man. Like, if that's why it was,
right
now that I know that it was just cheating, I'm like,
I'm
what
just
are you
listening.
doing? You better go call him right now.
My guy say,
no.
that scene was just
sex. No. But that's why I asked a question.
In conclusion, what a wild ride. In the end, this spat made Fresh and Fit look very bad while making Renner look great because she bulldozed them in the first half. Fit then started to flesh out his very odd views to everyone without being aware of how out there they were, while Renner dismantled the claims that she was just a baby-trapping gold digger. The end. If you're still here, I found a clip of Moist Critical commenting on people like Fresh and Fit, but I wasn't sure where to put it.
I have no doubt the three of them are pretty close to illiterate, but what that guy's saying right there is verbatim what all of the other YouTubers who are alpha males try and parrot. They all vomit that exact same line into each other's mouths, and just like Ouroboros, just keep eating each other's asses for all eternity. That whole men create value, women preserve it.
Simply put, ladies, women are born with value, men must create their value.
They treat each other like anime protagonists. It's literally r/I'm 14 and this is deep. This is literally sad Facebook statuses from 2010. It's very clear that this guy in particular was very deep into the whole pickup artist community or whatever, because this shit is the exact verbatim shit that they all said in their seminars. I've watched a lot of those on YouTube nights on stream because they're really fun to laugh at. And to a certain extent, I do feel bad for this guy because he got fed this so much that now he's adopted it as a truth, and the cycle just continues.